Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to bring the file that we exported from ArchiCAD into 3dsmax. So I'm gonna go here under import, then import non-native files. I'm gonna select my file and make sure that merge object is selected and also convert units. So hit OK. This one I'm gonna set no, even though that's not gonna affect anything. That's the animation length of the file. Okay. Now I'm gonna maximize the viewport. You can see that we have our building in the exact same location that we exported from ArchiCAD, which means that you can edit your object, or rather your building, in ArchiCAD and bring it back here without having to worry about the placement of the object and whether it's going to match or not. So and just to make sure that the scale is correct, first of all I have set my units to be centimeters. So I'm gonna create a box and if I look at the attributes, you can see that this is roughly 300 something or 331, which means that it has been brought in perfect scale. So now I'm gonna bring in my ArchiCAD version that is a little bit more complete than this one. Okay, now I'm gonna only select the shapes. So I'm gonna select these two, press Alt Q to isolate. Okay, now go to modify panel and attach these two lines. I'm gonna press 1, select this one and merge it together. So let's go weld. Or in fact I have to select these two and go weld. Okay, fine. Now let's go back to perspective mode and I'm gonna select my profile. This is a profile that I have drawn, so you may draw your own profile or just bring in a profile that you want. I'm gonna also select my spline, and I guess we have just a bit of issue here, so I'm gonna select this point and bring it down. So this should be fine. Just to make sure, I'm gonna isolate this one and press S and snap it here. Great. Now I'm gonna add a sweep modifier. Let's go sweep and let's go a custom shape, and I'm gonna pick this one. Now let's change the pivot to let's select this one. Okay, so this should be fine. Now we have just a bit of issue of a smoothing problem here, so I'm gonna add a smooth modifier on top. See if that fixes the issue. Okay, that is fine. Now I'm gonna bring this part out just a bit. So let's make sure that geometry is selected. I'm gonna select my line and bring this part out. Okay, so this should be fine. I'm not really worried about the wall to match the skirting or not, since I'm gonna be using the vray displacement, so I have to adjust this thing around, so I'm not really worried about that one right now. Yeah, we have some issues here, but again, I'm gonna fix those when we're going to add a vray displacement. So this should be fine for right now. Okay. As you can see, some of it is actually the shading problem, so it has nothing to do with the geometry itself. Alright, in the next tutorial we'll start making the bookshelf.